Hello, everyone. We have a story for you, how we took our company on-prem and why we did it and how is it going. I'm here today with Arpad.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Julie. So let's jump onto it. What is Bitrise? Bitrise is a mobile-focused DevOps platform. We are looking to ourselves as extension of mobile teams and mobile DevOps teams. Half of our customers are building applications against iOS and the other half is against Android. In order to support iOS engineers, we need to build macOS infrastructure, and oh man, that is a challenge. And how did we start? We started with a managed hosting solution with cloud support. But it had some problems and challenges and difficulties. Arpad, can you tell us more? Why should we go on-prem?
Yeah, so or you shouldn't. But so I will just list a few reasons. You might see your reason here, you might not. Everyone is different, so let's just accept that. So for us, it was an important step to becoming fully hybrid. So we can run anywhere. We can run in a managed hosting provider. We can run in cloud. We can run in our data centers, or we can run in customer data centers. So that was an important strategy for us. You probably, or maybe won't have this. But another reason could be cloud cost at scale. So when you start small, when you start with a few Mac minis, it is for at least the iOS part, it can go small, and then as you grow and as your team grows, things might change. So everything that's small at scale looks very different. Security requirements, one of my favorites. So maybe the CISO will tell you, hey, I want to have everything in this security posture, or compliance. You have to be compliant with this and this and this regulations or controls. Geopolitical reasons. In 2025, this is something that became more apparent. Maybe prior years, this was not a reason. Data locality for cost, speed, and control. This, I think, is the most overlooked aspect of starting small and then building the CI and connecting different tools. How the data flows between the different areas, the different cloud accounts, how much cost that is. So if you want to bring on-prem, that could be you can optimize, and then you can hard optimize for certain aspects for in your architecture. That's, for example, also what we did. So our reasons were a combination. Not all of them are listed. Not all of your reasons are listed. So just to check, let's just agree you have multiple. You can have multiple reasons, and it doesn't matter. Let's see how it went.
Yeah, I would like to talk about the prerequisites of such transition, because if you consider macOS, that is a rather expensive hardware that you are running on, and in order to maximize your performance, you would need to run as many things on your hardware as possible. What we figured out is we are using virtualization, and in order to support virtualization, you need to build a reliable virtualization solution for macOS. There are a very nice framework already available, but it was not the case a few years ago. However, if you are dealing with virtualization, you should probably need images and image building solution that is robust enough to support a bigger fleet of machines, and you need a solution to distribute these images to the bigger fleet of machines. You need orchestration, and you need all of the different components. If you are interested in this aspect, please check out the workshop named How to Build CI from Ground Up. This is held by 3 of our fellow engineers, and it's going to be a very deep dive in how exactly we built a software solution for that. But all in all, what I can tell you, it requires a very specific skill set and many different skill sets from many engineers, and a very hard can-do attitude from those engineers, because it is a lot to accomplish. That was our prerequisites. Arpad, how are we going? How did we transition, and how are we going?
Yeah, so as you said, there will be in 50 minutes. It's really hard to pack everything in there. So we have a separate talk, a long workshop for the software and also a lot of parts. So go and check that out for sure. So I'm going to just address a few things at high level that you need to think about. So data center location. Do you even need a data center? So when you start small, maybe a Mac Mini on your desktop is sufficient. We have seen customers that these Mac Minis were stolen. Some of them were not like encrypted, and then it was a big security incident from their offices. Then maybe there's an IT room in your offices. If you have some other customers told us that they're actually worried about that IT room gets flooded, and they actually realize how important it is that their business is required to release frequently and compete in the current market to bring new features and bug fixes to their through mobile applications to the end users. And it is important that it is always available, even if there is spring water is coming. So we ended up using data centers, like tier 1 data centers in the United States and Europe, and the location and the power and the redundancy of that is super important. Remote hands and maintenance, that's also an aspect that is important to think about. If you have no boots on the ground, how can you recover from weird issue states? You need to pull cables, restore. So the location and the ability to do changes to the environment are super important. Then the network, another favorite. So there are multiple aspects, but maybe two major areas. One is transit or wholesale internet. So you want to have redundant internet so you can go to your get your tooling, the latest updates from the internet. You also want to go to your maybe internet repositories if it is hosted. You may want a VPN or a transit, like a point-to-point connection back to your enterprise network. Some customers do that. Then firewalls, of course, you want to have the best security posture and protect those assets and source code, which is quite important. Remote management, out-of-band management. So this is typically like servers, Linux servers. Every reputable one already have built-in out-of-band or remote management capabilities, so you don't have to go there and push buttons. Now with Mac Minis, if you want to do a hybrid solution and you want to host Mac Minis, those don't have this, so you have to think about that. How do you maintain them remotely? Then cooling and custom hardware. So this is one of my favorite. I will try to cut this short. So when we started the M4 transition, there was no housing, no chassis on the market where we could put the M4 Mac Minis in. It was a new form factor, and cool them down to a spec. At the same time, put a lot of them into a very small area. So I want to show you. This is the M2 Pro fleet. It's an actual photo. That this is I think 5 units that had 16 Mac Minis in it. Of course, we have the sticker of Bitbot and per request on each of them, and you can see a lot of cables, a lot of high density. Your use case may be different. If you don't have a lot more space than you need, then you can put them in different ways. For us, it was important that we compact them. And we can, because we have a lot of power, but we don't have a lot of space, for example. So we optimize for density. So yeah, that is something that to think about, how you keep them cool, how you maintain them remotely, and then how you catch issues. So this is super important. Some of these devices that you have in your data center are not servers. These are not designed for 24/7 operations. The failure rate of them are very different from servers. Gremlins can creep everywhere on the local network and your internet or uplink, overheating issues, etc. So observability is incredibly clear from the temperature all the way through network, through compute, finding weird states in the simulators, not just the operating system monitoring, of course, but the simulators that is one tier higher from just system administration view. So you have to have observability at every area possible. So where we ended up, and this is just a very short, compressed list of things to think about. So where we ended up is a hybrid solution. So now we can actually run anywhere. We can run in our data centers. We can run in our customers' data centers to drop ship cabinets for them. We can run in a managed service provider with our fleet, or we can run in cloud, which we have, of course, if you look it up, we have these products. So for us, it was important that we tick these boxes, that we can run anywhere. If you think through, you have to design your architecture that if you need it to be forkliftable, that you can forklift it. So yeah, Julie?
Based on what I heard, it sounds to me that macOS especially has a lot of challenges, but also you need to understand both hardware and software on a level that is very rare in the industry. Tell me, would you do it again?
Yes, so I have two answers to this. One is my nerd side, and see that engineer who joined Bitrise to solve this, to build a macOS and Linux hybrid cloud for CI is still there, and yeah, that is yelling, yes, let's do this. On the business side, I also have to make decisions that support the business. If the business if our business wasn't to run CI jobs and optimize it for customers and help customers be an extension of their team to build this, I would be much more careful and much more wary, because what I learned is that we have to do way more than before. That was maybe underestimated. We have to do capacity management, think ahead how much capacity we needed at one time, anticipate the peaks, etc. On the hardware side, the network, the cooling, the power distribution, the servers, the maintenance, the supply chain, managing all that things. If something goes wrong, etc., etc. It's not just what something goes wrong physically, but also if I own the stack, then I am on the hook to fix it and find if something is wrong, because the software engineers relying on a stable environment that they know if they build something and it fails, it's their problem, it's not the environment's problem. So it's super important. And then, of course, the biggest one, the operations and software updates, the automation, as Julie mentioned, the building images, distributing them at scale, everything becomes way more complex. Like what you can do with 1 or 2 nodes, at 10 or 50, 100, 500, 1,000, thousands, it breaks down, it changes dramatically. So, and then of course the virtualization and orchestration, or the updates constantly breaking, or the automation and changes. Certain vendors actually just have new updates that are not backwards compatible. So dealing with those. So basically my summary is that yes, I would do it for a company where it is business critical and I want to have this problem in-house and it is my business, versus if it is not my business, then I would not do that. So, and then the last one is you can put a sticker on the side of the rack cabinet with your mascots if you build it. So for that reason, of course, yes. Julie?
Thank you very much, Arpad. I really appreciate your input on this front. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hope to see you soon. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the other talk. We go deep there. Bye.
Bye.